Hello, my name is Peter Calvilan. Welcome to In Truth and in Spirit, Well of Worship Fellowship. I am with Isaiah White, Tumwine Mutabazi, and I would like us to have a little talk here on female ordination. Yesterday, on the 3rd of October 2025, we had an experience in the Anglican Church. Sarah Muller-Lee was appointed as the first female Archbishop of Canterbury. In 2018, she became the Bishop of London. It has become a controversial talk all over, especially in biblical discourse. Today and right now, we would like to ask whether female ordination is theologically acceptable or biblically sound. According to those who argue against it, they use the following texts in the New Testament of the Bible. I would like to read in the English translation. The first is 1 Timothy 2, 11 and 12. And this is what it has to say. You can follow in your other translation as long as it is English. I read. Let a woman learn in silence with all submissiveness. I permit no woman to teach or to have authority over men. She is to keep silent. That is 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. In 1 Corinthians 14:34, it has this to say. As in all the churches of the saints, the women should keep silence in the churches, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be subordinate, as even the law says. So from that intertext, we argue, or it is argued, that women should not be permitted, they should not be ordained. So goes the discourse. Now, from that background, I am with Isaiah White Tumwine Mutabazi, a seasoned biblical theologian, biblical Christian theologian, and I would like to ask how to go about this female ordination. Is it permissible biblically? Is it permissible theologically? Is it permissible in Christianity?
Well, thank you very much. I don't know whether I will be stalling this discussion, but I think the best place to start from is to discover our identities in God. Now that this is a religious organization, we need to establish our identities in God. Who is a woman before God and who is a man? First question that I would like to ask. Do we believe that a man and a woman are equal and equally created in the image of God? Because if the answer to that is yes, then there is no point of this controversy and conflict on women ordination.
According to Genesis chapter 2, it is different.
According to Genesis chapter 2, it is different. Well, that depends on how you interpret Genesis chapter 2 and Genesis chapter 1. Because in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, both man and women were created in the image of God. Both man and women. Then when we come to Genesis chapter 2, we see that according to verse 7, man went to sleep and God formed the body of the man out of the dust. Then he breathed into him the spirit of life. Then man became a living being. Then Genesis chapter 2 again, verse 18, he said it is not good for man to be alone.
Yes.
Then verse 20, he took man into a deep sleep, and then out of his rib, he made a wife. Now, literally, what we have in Genesis chapter 2, in the mythology of Genesis chapter 2, what we have there, it is a discourse about marriage and a wife. We are not talking about a woman. Creation has been done. Human beings were created on the 6th day of creation. That's Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Both man and women were created in the image of God. This whole thing of
Yes,
the woman was created out of the rib of man. That's not a woman, that's a wife.
Oh.
And the Bible is trying to communicate how a wife should relate to a husband and a husband should relate to a wife. That's what is happening there.
Isn't that subordinate?
Begins by saying it is not good for man to be alone. So Genesis chapter 2 is discussing marriage. That's what it is discussing. It is not discussing a woman as a human being and a man as a human being. There's what we have, what we call man and woman. Then there's wife and husband. So for me, Genesis chapter 2 is discussing wife and husband relations, not originality. So a woman is not a byproduct of a man, that a woman was created out of the rib, and neither is a man a byproduct of the dust, because man is not only dust. No, he's not. All right? Well, when you look at the text of our body, it's all dust, both of men and women. Now, since man was created out of the dust of the ground and the woman was created out of the rib of the man, the material of her body would have been different. But anyway, what Genesis chapter... Yes, what Genesis, they are softer, but the material is the same. It's all dust. Good. Now, Genesis chapter 2 is actually discussing, all right, not superiority in nature of humanity, but functional superiority in family. The man is the head of the family, and the wife must be submissive to their husband. That's what Genesis is creating. Genesis chapter 2.
Is that a design of creation or a design of a culture?
It's well, we could say it is a design of culture, functionality.
Okay,
let's say that, but it is endorsed by God. Okay, because God likes working things. Okay, we would say that. All right. So
also in the animal kingdom, we see male dominating the species.
Yeah, in the animal kingdom it is a muscular thing. In the human world, it is a conceptual thing. Okay. So it is men are not the head of the families because of their muscular being, okay, beingness. No, they are the heads of the family because the women have chosen, okay, the headship of men. So that's the whole thing. Your wife must choose you as the head, not because of your size, not because of your body build up, no, but your wife must choose that you are his or you are her head. That's all.
So it is intentional. It's not instinctual.
No, it's not instinctual. It is intentional. That's in the human world. But in the animal kingdom, it is muscular, the muscle. That's what happens.
Going back to the identity, who we are in Christ. Who are we? We who believe.
We are human beings created in the image of God, both men and women, and we are equal before God in the image of God. Yes. So for me, the question that and the topic that you actually introduced begins from that point. That's why I took you took you back to this place. We need to begin by identifying who are we before God. Are we equal before God, men and women, or we have differences?
Just like you have brought upon the argument that chapter 2 of Genesis is a functionality discourse in marriage.
Yes.
Don't you think that works in Timothy and Corinthians? Just we have just said that in the institutional context for functionality, let the women submit. Let them take the law sit while the men take authority. Don't you think somebody would argue like that?
Brilliant. Now, in biblical theology, there is what we call biblical anthropology. Now, biblical anthropology is when we are investigating how divine revelation or the revelation of God has been represented or misrepresented by cultures where it has happened and occurred.
Represented
or misrepresented.
Or misrepresented.
Yes. By cultures where that divine revelation has occurred.
You're just saying that divine revelation occurs in specific cultures.
Exactly. It doesn't occur in vacuum. It occurs within cultures. And that's the essence of biblical anthropology. All right? So for purposes of this topic, isn't it? I need you to understand that we are dealing with an aspect of biblical anthropology. When God has revealed himself to a particular culture, he finds them an organized culture. okay, with the working information that they have. All right, there is a way each and every culture esteems men, and there is a way each and every culture esteems women. Right. So when God now starts operating with that culture, he works with that.
Where culture here you mean?
Where culture here, I mean what people believe in their own communities and societies and language.
Okay.
Okay? Who are they? Who are these people? You are in Buganda, right?
I am.
There's who a woman is in Buganda, and there is who a man is in Buganda. Those are the containers of divine revelation, and those are the instruments that divine revelation uses to operate. So what you see in those texts that you read at the introduction, because those are pastoral episodes, you've read from Timothy, if I remember, and you've also read from Corinthians. Now, those are what we call the pastoral episodes. It's very important when you're quoting any text from the Bible to understand the genre of that book where you're picking the verse from.
Okay.
So where you're reading is a pastoral episode.
What does pastoral imply in this discourse?
Yes, what pastoral means in this discourse is that the writer of that letter is addressing a particular circumstance in a particular church by a particular people, their thinking, their understanding, and their culture.
What you have called culture.
Yes, what I've called culture. That's what he's addressing. It's not a universal law. All right? It's not a universal law. It's not even a divine principle. I need you to understand that. But it is a procedure for functionality in that place. Because of their brokenness, their level of understanding, and their level of revelation. They are still at that level. So to make sure that they function, this is what should be done in that place because of who you are and what you know.
It is procedural for functionality.
For functionality.
Not principle of operation.
Not principle of operation, or even a tenet of divine revelation, that God ordains that. But this is how we can work and operate in this field. So that's what we mean by pastoral epistles, because there are many things that Apostle Paul says, but from the spirit of a pastor. This is how we should do. This is how we should do. This is how we do. It's not doctrines. These are not doctrines.
Since you explained prior on that pastoralism or pastorship is dependent on how the pastor understands
the relationship they have and their experiences. Yes, their experiences and exposure.
In other words, it will be scandalous having understood that this is how your sheep believe and belong. If you go against what they ordain,
then you will abuse divine revelation. It will become an offense, to them. So you need to work with what they know, and then you get them to a place, where they do that. Because the Apostle Paul, who is writing that to the Corinthians and to Timothy, I think Timothy was in Ephesus. That same Apostle Paul who is writing that has got people like Dina, has got other female ministers that he's working with them, and they even speak, they even preach. But for purposes of the context of these places in Corinth and in Ephesus, he says that, no, women should keep quiet. Women should keep quiet. Women should keep quiet. But the very Apostle Paul has got women ministers working with him.
Isn't that in sync with what Jesus Christ, whom we have believed, did when he was here? He never had any woman among the 12. So don't you think?
Yes.
When Paul says that women should keep quiet, they should shut the hell up.
Absolutely. Because Jesus was a rabbi, and in the rabbinical order, you had to have disciples, and the disciples were supposed to be male, and they were supposed to be male because Jews and Israelites was chauvinistic in nature. Judaism is chauvinistic in nature. So to appeal to Judaism, he had to have male disciples exclusively. But again, go back to the ministry. In order to appeal to his audience. Not to offend them before they get even to hear what he has to say. Because there must be that appeal. He's doing that for an appeal. It's not that Jesus is discriminative like Judaism is. No. But he's trying to appeal to his audience within their context, within their understanding culture. Now, he has to appeal. So he picks only male. for disciples, because discipleship can only be a role of men, isn't it? But now look at his ministry and look at his relationship with women. He's all over with women. He's touching women, it was forbidden. More so, he's touching unclean women and healing them, it was forbidden. He's moving around with women. The house in Bethany that he chose to be his abode is a house of women, two girls and ladies. So he's trying to present again, bringing out a woman again. And then you could even look at his birth or his initiation into the world. It is by incarnation. The man does not participate in the birth of Jesus Christ. It's the virgin woman that brings him. So you can see he's so much up there with women. Just make sure that there's an equilibrium in a chauvinistic environment like that.
So what would you Corinthians, using them as the foundation for rejection of female ordination?
Well, I would start by the simplistic approach of looking at the texts themselves. Okay. You read Timothy first?
Yes, First Timothy.
What does it say?
2:11 and 12.
Yes.
Let a woman learn in silence with all submissiveness. I permit no woman to teach or have authority over men. She is to keep silent.
Okay. Now, the idea is one, not to teach, to learn in silence, and not to have authority
over men.
Over men.
She should keep quiet, silent.
Yes. So those who are quoting that verse should not quote it out of context.
What is its context?
The context is that they are addressing the people in Ephesus where Timothy is.
And what is happening to this community?
What is happening there?
To this society?
What is happening there in that society is that it is a congregation that has got rich women.
Okay.
So rich that they have started influencing the church services and church direction. Now, unfortunately, the leaders...
Just a minute.
Yes.
What do you mean by church here?
The church in Ephesus, because Paul is writing to a church. Where church means a congregation, a meeting of believers.
Not an institution?
No. You are taking me to other places, Mr. Moderator.
Okay.
The church is not an institution. The church is an assembly of believers.
Okay.
Those are the New Testament churches. Okay. In fact, the churches that we're talking about there are home churches. They are churches hosted by families.
Okay.
Now, what is happening in that assembly is that there are strong and powerful women financially in that church. Okay. But the leaders are men, only men. Okay. Now, when it comes to leadership, leaders need the money of the women, the rich women in the assembly. That is what is happening in that church of Timothy. And because the leaders need the money of these, women are dictating, what their money should do. Hence the silence. Give us your money and keep quiet because you are a woman. Do not dictate what we are going to use this money for. Your work is to learn in silence. Do not argue.
Just give us your money.
But these are rich women in an assembly. So for Paul to sort out that conflict, he's telling the women, the rich women, isn't it?
To do what?
To learn in silence.
What is Paul solving?
Paul is solving the conflict between the male chauvinistic assembly, okay? Yeah, with the challenge of rich, powerful women.
Okay.
So he's asking the rich, powerful women to learn in silence, okay? And not participate and not be leaders, because these women who are rich are claiming offices. Now that is my money that you are using. Let me take that office as well. Why can't we be in those offices? Because you are using our money. So that is what is happening in that.
So he solves that.
Yes.
And then...
So he asks the women, please keep quiet. Learn in silence. Isn't it? And don't be head of men. Because that is going to cause crisis.
And then the 1 Corinthians, what do you have to say there?
What does 1 Corinthians say? Let's go there also, I'd say.
Sorry.
Because it's today.
Yeah. 14:34 says, as in all the churches of the saints, the women should keep silence in the churches, for they are not permitted to speak, but should be subordinate, as even the law says.
Okay, fine. Now, I'll come to the issue of the law, but for now, let me ask the modern religions, okay, who do not ordain women as leaders, okay, and they still use, do they use that verse?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
now,
among the ones they call.
Okay, fine. Question. Do the churches that do not ordain women have women in choirs?
Oh, yes, they do.
And they sing?
Oh, yes, they do.
Are those women...
Even deaconesses.
Okay. Are those women silent then?
No.
That's a contradiction. You cannot have a woman singing in the choir, and when it comes to ordination, and then you say, no, you should keep quiet. They're already singing. They even preach in the pulpit. So that it is a contradiction, because the text says they should be keep quiet. As far as the Corinthian church is concerned, women were like, I'll give you an example. These churches, the reasons why they have conflicts, you know, you are hearing these conflicts in what we call the Antiochian churches. You don't hear such conflicts
in the Jewish one.
In the Jerusalem churches.
Yes.
Do you know why? Because in the Jerusalem churches, the manner is like what you see in Islam.
Okay.
Women have got their coat.
So there is no debate.
There is no debate. They don't, women do not even mingle in a church service or in what service with the men. Women sit at the back somewhere and then they put a curtain.
Even in the advent of Christianity in Jerusalem?
In Jerusalem, that is what is happening. These conflicts that you hear are in the Antiochian churches. The Antiochian churches is a combination of two, Jews and Gentiles. You understand? Now, the conflict rises when the Jews see women sitting among them. Already that is a problem. As if that is not a problem enough, these women start even talking. For a Jew, a diaspora Jew, this is already a problem. What is Paul doing? Now, because Paul knows that he's building Christianity on Judaism and the historical tenets of Judaism, he's now trying to protect his fellow Jews so that he doesn't offend them. They stay in the church. So he's telling women, please keep quiet. As it is in the law. Which law? Which law? The Jewish law. Isn't it? Now, for a Christian to advocate for such, it is a contradiction, because Paul is not talking about here about Christianity. That is not how things are done in Christianity.
The law.
The law.
As says the
law. The Jewish law.
So this discourse of women ordination and so on is within the jurisprudence of the law.
Jewish law, the Torah. So for any Christian today who believes in Jesus Christ, and Jesus believes, now look at Paul when he goes to Galatians chapter 3 verse 19, he says, there is no man and no woman, for we are all one in Christ Jesus.
There is neither Jew nor Greek.
That is verse what?
28.
Go to verse 26.
6. For in Christ Jesus.
That is the geography. In what?
For in Christ Jesus.
Now, in Christ Jesus is very important. I want to pause there and make sure that people understand this. Any religion that does not ordain women and forbids the ordination of women is not in the geography called in Christ. And that is why they are right.
They are in the law.
Yes, they are in the geography of the law, the cultural traditional laws. A woman is lesser than a man. A woman is not equal in the equally created in the image of God. But whoever claims to be in Christ Jesus, here is the following.
There is neither.
No, for in Christ Jesus.
Yes. For in Christ Jesus,
Yes.
you're all
Yes.
sons of God.
Pause. All. Women and who?
Men.
And men.
Through faith.
Through faith. Not through culture. Culture says something different. A woman is inferior. That's what culture is saying. But not in Christ Jesus. Continue.
For as many of you as were baptized into Christ,
were women baptized in Christ?
They were.
Good.
Have put on Christ.
They have also put on Christ. Equal as men.
Now I like, in the first it says in.
Yes.
Now you have put on.
Yes.
So you are in and on.
Yes.
Okay. There is neither slave nor free, neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither male nor female.
Why does he bring that? Is it true that there is no male and no female? You are a man.
Yes.
Don't you have a wife?
Yes.
Don't you have a daughter?
Yes.
So can you say there is neither male nor female? No. He's talking about the law that creates those distinctions. This one is a woman. Cannot be an archbishop because is a woman. Question. Is leadership gender-based? Is leadership a gender issue?
No.
But in culture it is. A girl cannot be an heir because she is a girl. The biology is right. The DNA she carries belongs to that man. But that girl, because she's a girl, cannot be my heir. So being an heir and taking the inheritance is a gender-based thing. Culturally, not so in Christ. What Paul is saying here is not saying that there are no men and women. There are men and women. But there is nothing like this one is a woman. Therefore, she cannot be ordained as a minister. What is the reason? Woman. No, there is no woman. We are one in Christ Jesus. For you are all one. That's why he concludes that verse. For you are all one in who?
Christ Jesus.
The geography. So the religions that do not ordain women are right geographically because they are not in Christ Jesus. As simple as that.
So the matter of ordination of females and males is a matter of geography.
Yes.
The matter of local.
Local. Where are you? Are you in Christ Jesus? Then a woman can be an archbishop. But if you are not in Christ Jesus and you are in Anglican,
you're just fine.
You are in Anglican, you are fine.
Very much justified.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Now, finally, the Anglican religion is a religion born in Britain. And Britain has got female queens.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Now,
Mary was the first.
Yes.
Queen Mary was the first.
Queen Mary was the first.
In the 1500s.
In a country where Queen Mary was a queen, they are forbidding ordaining women. That is the Anglican Church. Isn't it? The most important figure in the Catholic Church is a woman. Mary. Isn't it? The Catholic Church forbids having a woman as a father or as a mother or as an archbishop. Are you following?
Yes.
Is that a contradiction or not?
It is.
It is a contradiction in Britain with the Anglican Church forbidding the ordination of women, yet they had queen mothers. It is a contradiction in the Catholic Church to have Mary on your rosary and forbid women
to become fathers.
Or even archbishops. It is a contradiction. The Seventh-day Adventist Church also forbids female ordination. True?
Do they?
Yes.
Okay.
They do not ordain women to certain offices.
Yeah.
True?
Very
because we have not had any female general conference president, have we?
Not yet.
In the Seventh-day Adventist Church?
At least not one I know of.
No, they haven't, isn't it? But the Seventh-day Adventist Church is built on the doctrines and the interpretations of the Bible of a woman called Ellen G. White.
Ellen Gummon.
She even has an entire fundamental belief
on her.
Yes, among the 28, I don't know now how many they are, fundamental beliefs they have. There is one about that spirit of prophecy. It is about her. And they are not ordaining women. Really, that is a contradiction. So, But you see, they are right because they are not in Christ Jesus.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very before lest I forget. What do you say with somebody who says we don't have any New Testament Bible name that is female?
That is female.
Yeah.
Any New
Testament book.
Book.
Uh-huh.
Oh, that is female.
Yeah, that is female. All are Johns, all are Marks, and Matthews. So don't you think they're insensitive in this generation, this contemporary world? Aren't they sensitive to women? Is there any gender balance?
Okay. Well, there I really don't know what to say about that because there's what we call feminist theology. Okay, and I think that question comes from that field of feminist theology. Now, feminism is suffering from what chauvinism suffers: extremism. So in feminist theology, they have even written their Bible, making sure that the pronouns in the Bible about God are amplified so that people get to know that God is not a man, God is a woman. Now, the problem with that is that when you say that God is a woman, men also will start fighting the same thing. Okay? God is not a woman. All right? So, for me, that is very petty. It's so petty in a sense that...
are you speaking as now as a theologian or as a man?
I am speaking as a theologian.
Voice a man?
I'm speaking as a theologian. It is petty. Why?
Okay.
There is no New Testament book, okay, whose content is about its title.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you very much for having joined us. Let us join.
Let us join sure whether you understand.
I think we have nothing much more to add to that
because literally, is the book of Matthew about Matthew?
Not at all.
So, how important is the name of any Bible book to its content?
Sometimes titles reflect the subject matter.
Because we are not in this political affirmative action. That's not what the Bible is about. It's not about balancing the gender. The genders were already balanced, and there are two genders, male and female. So the Bible is not about gender and what you do with your genetics.
That is the book of Esther.
That he was asking in the New Testament. But even then in the Old Testament, where there are books named after female names, isn't it? The books are not about those characters. That is a misunderstanding of the Bible. Yes, it is an abuse. And that's why I think this is petty, and it is happening in the feminist theology, which we are even trying to fight. There's the exegesis of feminism in the Bible. We're even dealing with that. Okay? So this whole thing of worshipping a man, that was the problem with chauvinism and that androcentrism in the Old Testament. Now we have a new problem now of worshipping a woman. Isn't it? This is now the problem of your generation. They are both problems. God is neither man nor a woman. God is God. Then, if he's God, why are we using all these things? That is the anthropological approach of interpretation. In language, you must have functional and tools to use so that you can communicate to particular audiences.
We call that anthropological linguistics.
Yes, it is anthropological linguistics.
Thank you very much for viewing, and thank you very much for following us. We've been debating the topic titled Female Ordination. Does it matter to ordain women? Does it matter to ordain men? And I think we have had a wonderful theological approach. If you have any questions for feedback and follow up, please post them, and we shall be glad and delighted to respond to you. May God bless, keep, and protect you. We are in the truth, in truth, and in spirit, well of worship, fellowship. Until we meet again, bye-bye.